Yo, what's going on? I wanted to make one more quick video before I went back to Mexico. I figured I should take advantage of the good internet and see if I can shoot a video today before my sessions and upload it. New York was unbelievable. Actually, Ohio was unbelievable. I met so many amazing people, and thank you guys so much for trusting your instinct and feeling the draw for this reconnection. I wanted to make a video about when I got reconnected and when I realized that I was a Wi-Fi unit for these frequencies. It was back in 2011, as most of you know, and once I got reconnected, I was drawn to this information that kept validating what was going on, that kept explaining it in different ways of what this light and information and these frequencies, what they're doing. And I remember there's this one lady that I've mentioned in a couple of my videos, and she was the one that was talking about, you know, you're not going to believe what starts coming through your hands and in the future. You'll be able to heal people with your hands. And this was back in '91. And so I've read several of her books, and I've always been just blown away with the information of what she was saying, because I'm seeing it manifest in my life right now. And she's the one about that video I did on the Death Walker. My best friend's a Death Walker, so it's the same information. But I remember one time I was reading something in one of her books, and it was really weird because it said, there is nothing on this planet that can affect you, that can hurt you. And she said, all you have to do is bring in this beam of light and create this sphere that will protect you. And I remember, as I read that, I was like, well, that's just bullshit. That's absolutely ridiculous. Even though all this was happening to me, you hear something like that and you're like, really? I'm going to bring in a beam of light and create a sphere of protection against anything on this planet? But the funny thing is the second I said, this is ridiculous, what is she talking about, bringing in a sphere of light? A memory popped into my head. And it was a memory from when I was a golf professional, when I was, I was like 20 years old. So I actually had not thought about this memory for, 26 years, literally. And at night, I played golf during the day. And at night, I was a valet parker at a restaurant called Top of the Cove in La Jolla, California. I'm sure it doesn't exist anymore. But so after the restaurant closed, I was on my way home in my 1982 Toyota Corolla, and I remember I pulled up into this gas station, and at the time, I usually got gas give me $3 worth of gas, or $4 worth of gas, and at the time that was actually that actually got you quite a bit of gas. But so I pulled in, I went and I paid, so I'm getting gas, and all of a sudden as I'm getting gas, this car comes sliding up. And as it slides up, 3 people get out, 2 guys and a girl, and they get out. And I see the guy that's leading, he goes right up to the cashier, and he's got a gun. He's like, give me the money, give me the money. And so the cashier, opens the register and gives them the money. And this guy gets super pissed because I guess it wasn't enough money. And so as soon as he gets the money, I see him screaming, and I see him push over the cash register. And right as he pushes over the cash register, the other 2 people just run out of the store and jump in the car. And they start screaming for him. Well, this guy, something's going on with him. He is amped out of his mind. And so instead of running out, he starts running over to these racks, that hold all the food. And he starts pushing over these racks. And as soon as his friends see this, and the whole time I'm just sitting there pumping gas. I'm just these guys are 20 feet away from me, Their car's 20 feet, and that guy's 40 feet, in the gas station, pushing over these racks. And so they're screaming, come on, come on, come on. Dude, he doesn't come out. So they just take off. And as they take off, he turns around and sees him and comes running out of the gas station and following them and running after them as they're peeling out. So I'm just like, I'm just like pumping gas. I can't believe I'm just like pumping gas watching this. And as he comes out, he follows them all the way out to the street. And I'm just kind of sitting there, I'm done with my gas. I'm just kind of sitting there watching him. And at that moment, the dude turns around and looks at me. And I know he's looking right at me. And he knows I'm looking right at him. And the second we realize that dude starts running at me as fast as he can with the gun. And I'm like, oh shit. So I like take the gas nozzle out, and I'm going to my car, and I did the numbers in my head, the time, and I was like, dude, there's no way that I'm going to be able to jump in my car, start my car, and get out of here. He's running at me full blast. And so it was so weird because I just stopped trying to get in my car, and I just stood up. Now, if you're going to fight somebody, man, you're going to get your balance right. You're going to get like, you're going to be ready to do something. Dude, I just stood flat foot. I'm like 20 years old. I just stood flat foot. So if he would have pushed me, I would have fallen back. So I just stood there, and I watched him come running up to me with the gun. And he like grabs me, and he like gets me and like grabs me. He's got the gun right there. Now, I'm 20 years old, okay? I should have been scared to death. You know what I mean? I should have been like just like pissing my pants. But I looked at him in the eyes, and dude, he had some kind of crazy like angel dust look in his eyes, man. Like this guy was out of his mind. And I remember he had me, and he had the gun up to my neck. And I remember I looked at him, and I don't know why in the world I said this to him. But I said, man, you're going to be okay. Everything's okay. And as soon as I said that, I saw his eyes like started batting. He like started, and it looked like he was like rebooting. And then he just like completely changed his expression, dropped the gun, turned around, and went running down the street. And I'm just like, what the hell just happened? Like, what's going on? Now, the question is, when I read that nothing on this planet can affect you, can hurt you, if you bring in this beam of light, did I see a beam of light? No, I didn't see a beam of light. Did I feel a sphere of energy? No, I did not see a sphere of energy. But the question is like, when I read that and commented that it was bullshit, that it was ridiculous, why did I access this memory that I hadn't thought of in over 25 years? I had completely forgot about it. Yet when I read this part of this book that talks about you're always protected, I brought up that memory. I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences anymore. And like I said, did I see a sphere of light? No, I didn't. Man, something happened there. Why would I say, with the dude with the gun in my neck, that's obviously on some kind of drug that's not just your normal drug? This dude was out of his mind. Why would I look at him in the eye and say, you're going to be okay? Everything's going to be okay. I don't know. That just, I don't know. I think there's a connection there. I really believe, I've mentioned it in my other videos that I feel like I could go any place in the world and feel like I'm protected. And I think it's because of my beliefs. I think it's because I feel protected. I know I'm protected. And it's like, I think it's because I don't just sit around and think that everybody's out to get me. I believe that I'm protected, and therefore I am protected. And I just thought that was interesting, because sometimes we're always talking about light and information and energy, and when we're locked into this 3D world, this 4D world, including time, and we're so drunk on our five senses, man, there's so much more going on that we're not aware of. I mean, there really is. And one of the weird things that I've noticed, and I kind of forgot about it, because I actually don't facilitate many reconnections down in Mexico. And I forgot that every time I facilitate one of these reconnections, like, something happens to me. Like, I can feel my consciousness expanding. It's almost like when I'm this antenna to allow for this healing for someone else, there's a residual that happens to me. There's like, I can feel my consciousness expanding every time I facilitate one of these reconnections. And let me tell you, man, when you do like 6 or 7 in a day, well, it's a 2-day process, but if you have like 7 sessions in a day, I'm walking around on cloud 9. I mean, I'm literally floating, and my consciousness starts expanding so fast, and I start actually seeing these different levels to our reality. And I actually see the world in a way that there's no way I can articulate it. I mean, maybe in a few years I'll be able to articulate it, but I see the truth. I see how we're constantly shifting. I see how we're creating our life, and it's real. We are literally creating our life. And, I remember I heard one time that, when you awaken, like, people are always thinking, they're like, what can I do for the planet? What can I do for myself? And I've heard that, just being on this planet is enough. You really can't do any more for this world than just being here. But what happens is, when you awaken, you become conscious of how you're affecting others. And with this frequency, man, it gets so crazy strong. It's almost like you just feel how strong your field is around you and how it affects others. Maybe this didn't make any sense. It's really difficult to articulate this. But if I didn't come to your area, and you're feeling the draw for this reconnection, I'm going to start doing this, maybe 4 or 5 times a year. I'm going to fly up and go to different areas, and go to Canada, because I'm supposed to do this, and I thoroughly enjoy this. And every single person that I met on this trip, I recognize them. I feel like they're my brother and sister. I feel like we've done this many, many, many times. And I feel like my purpose is simply to remind you who you are and what's really going on down here. So I'm going to be going out to, I'm going to schedule a trip to California, and then probably, I think I'll go up to Vancouver and maybe hit Toronto, and maybe go to Florida. So I'm going to do a lot more. I just feel like I'm supposed to do this. I'm supposed to travel more in the States, and I enjoy speaking English in Mexico. My Spanish sucks. So, and even if I learn Spanish, I'm not going to be able to talk about these deep things. My Spanish will never be at that level. So I'm so happy that I decided to come up and go to New York and Ohio and Houston, and I met some amazing people. And yeah, man, I hope to. So if you're interested in the reconnection, let me know where you're at, and I'll see if I can come into your area the next time, and we can make this happen. Okay, Love to everybody. The next video will be on the beach, and I hope you guys enjoyed that little story. And I'll talk to you later. Okay, peace.